So he banked on himself and became worth way more than those record companies were offering. But then his wife filed for divorce, and she didn't only want half of what he was worth now. No, she wanted 60%.
And so this is female envy, right? Women cannot stand when the man becomes the main character. And in most relationships, the man does eventually become the main character. Getting married is a risk to every man in the West. It doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, black, white, successful, or a bum. Any man that gets married can end up in divorce court when his wife decides to leave him and take his children. Some people in the space say marry a woman early so she can be with you when you have nothing. She'll remain loyal because she was with you in the beginning before she had the money. And that narrative is false. And I want to say too, there's this narrative from conservatives, and they have this idea that women are loyal. I'll see a man that posts his wife and says she was there for me when I had nothing. But the equivalent of that is she bet on a horse that won. So, she would have bounced if you had nothing for too long. Like maybe you had nothing for a few years, but if you were falling behind your male peers by a significant amount and she didn't think you'd bounce back, yeah, you'd bounce. So you guys got to stop looking for unicorns. We don't exist. She will remain loyal because she was with you in the beginning before you had money, again, is the idea. And this narrative is false. Women marry a man at the beginning. Women that marry a man at the beginning are just as likely to divorce as the rest of them. Enter Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony's wife waited until he was worth millions of dollars and then divorced him and took half his shit and half his money because, of course, she did. Like, y'all remember the Rich Men of Richmond guy, Oliver Anthony? He put out that one song and just blew up. Yeah, he made the smart decision of contacting Joe Rogan after he blew up and was like, what should I do? Because all these record companies were offering him millions of dollars. And he took Joe Rogan's advice to not sign with any of them because Joe Rogan knew he was going to get screwed. So he banked on himself and became worth way more than those record companies were offering. But then his wife filed for divorce, and she didn't only want half of what he was worth now. No, she wanted 60%.
And so this is female envy, right? Women cannot stand when the man becomes the main character. And in most relationships, the man does eventually become the main character. So look, back in the day, I would put her now, she's pretty cute, 6, maybe 5, 6. I'd say 6. I'd even say 7 for her age because she looks like she's in her 30s, 40s. So I'd say for her age, she's probably one of the more attractive women in her age group because women by their 30s tend to get fat and she looks thin. Now, he's just like a poor guy working a normal job and he gets famous overnight. A lot of women can't handle the competition anxiety because they've never had to deal with the burden of performance because they married young. Other times, it's just she likes the attention on her. She can't handle it.
Of all future earnings, 60% of everything this man makes for the rest of his life. That's what she wanted. I just want to remind you that.
Or is it this girl? Is it the same woman? Okay, I'm not sure, but the concept is still the same.
They were poor. This dude was selling farm equipment and she was happily married. But I guess suddenly he just became a bad husband. Yeah, sure, that's what it was. But anyway, so that's the story behind his new hit single, Scornful Woman, which, if you listen to it, I think it perfectly explains what type of woman he was married to.
Okay. All right, next, watch the first minute and 30 seconds.
Like private music studio. And nobody has to hear it until you listen to it the first time. You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like Oliver Anthony's new album.
I haven't heard it.
Bro.
Really?
Bro, there's a song. We're going to play the song.
Leak it?
You can't play it on the air. So we'll play it.
When you already sent me?
Oh,
I
yeah.
should have it already.
We'll play it and then we'll react to it. Okay. I'll tell you guys, cut all this out. I'll tell you guys what happened. So Oliver Anthony has no money, right? He's poor. He's selling farm equipment. He puts his song on YouTube. He's a fucking superstar, right? He doesn't know what to do. He freaks out. He asked me for advice. I call him on the phone. We have a conversation for like a fucking hour where I go, don't sign anything with anybody. And he's like, they're telling me I have to strike while the iron's hot. I go, bullshit. They're trying to steal money from you. I go, you're independent. You're already there. You already made it. I know if you wrote that song.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you wrote that song, you could write a dozen of those fucking songs. You don't need anybody. He's like, they're offering me $7 million. I go, no. They're offering to steal money from you for the rest of your life. That's what they're doing. I go, you don't need them. You have talent. So cut to, he starts making millions of dollars, doing arenas. The wife divorces him. She wants everything. She wants everything.
Whoa.
She wants more than half. She wants all the money that he's going to be making in the future because she was with him when he was broke. So it's fucking crazy. He's just tortured.
What a fucking idiot.
Wants to die.
Late.
Wants to die. And he writes this song.
I can't play the song, but I will read the lyrics in a second. Thank you, Jeffo, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You guys are so nice. You don't even have to super chat me at all. So many people just watch for free on YouTube that I know when you guys super chat, I know you guys are the hardworking men in America. So it really does mean the world to me. I'm so grateful I get to do this every day, to be honest. So thank you guys so much. As most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code. Okay, so I'm going to read the lyrics to Scornful Woman. So this is the song that Oliver Anthony wrote. Well, she's got a side to her I want to run from. She'll turn a warm afternoon into a cold, cold one. Well, Eve grabbed the apple and then Adam took a bite. And now all these years later, the math still ain't right. With a scornful woman, I used to sleep so good. I didn't have a nightmare. I was busy dreaming, believing he's always going to be right there. And now the middle of the day is like the middle of the night and the court says 50-50, but the math don't seem right. With a scornful woman, she can have all the money and they can keep all the fame. I'd go back to broke as a joke if I could get a break from the pain. So Oliver Anthony, like most men, got served a nice dose of the red pill. His wife was just waiting for the opportunity to leave him and take what she could for himself. This is the reality for most men that get married. Now, let's take a look at an article about Oliver Anthony's situation. Oliver Anthony may have topped the charts with rich men north of Richmond. But even fame, talent, and a Billboard #1 can't protect a father from the clutches of a system that too often sides with the scornful. Anthony, real name Christopher Anthony Lunsford, has joined the countless ranks of American men who rise just high enough to become a target in family court. His wife, Tiffany Lunsford, has repeatedly demanded not only a split of his current assets, but a share of his future earnings. A move that, according to podcaster Joe Rogan, left Anthony feeling gutted and betrayed. On June 4th, 2025, Anthony released Scornful Woman, a blistering ballad of betrayal that lays bare the pain, the pressure, and the financial toll that so often goes unspoken. The court says 50-50, but the math don't seem right with a scornful woman who lives to fight. Before his viral hit in 2023, Anthony was living in a camper, working odd jobs, trying to make ends meet. He and Tiffany had built a life together through hardship, raising 2 children and welcoming a third in late 2023. But success, as it so often does, brought scrutiny and leverage, especially in divorce court, where sudden income and public acclaim became fuel for financial warfare. Through details of their custody arrangement remain sealed, the silence is telling. In a world full of celebrity divorces, particularly those involving children, the legal machinery often prioritizes privacy, but that doesn't mean fairness is part of the equation. If Anthony's lyrics and demeanor are any indication, he's not just fighting for his paycheck, he's fighting to stay a part of his kids' lives. Joe Rogan didn't mince words during his June 2025 podcast. She wants half of anything, everything, including future earnings. He's tortured. Man, wants to die. He's there crying. It's effing crazy. The story echoes a broader, more sinister pattern. Ex-spouses using family court not just to divide assets, but to exploit future labor. It's not just a settlement, it's a sentence. Divorce settlements in high income or high potential cases often include clauses that project future earnings as marital property. But a man like Oliver Anthony catapults to stardom seemingly overnight. Is it just to treat his art, blood, sweat, and future creativity as a shared marital property, even post-separation? This is the question Scornful Woman dares to ask, without legalese and loopholes, just like a guitar and a wounded heart. While much of the media focuses on the juicy gossip of who wants what, the real issue is one of systemic design. Family court was never built to handle wealth, fame, or emotional fallout of divorce with integrity. It was built to assign fault, divide property, and too often treat fathers like wallets with visitation privileges. With no verified public statements on the child custody arrangement, speculation brews. And oftentimes when speculation is brewing, because nobody's talking, it's because usually there's a gag order that is generally applied on the man and not on the woman. And the court will often punish the man for talking and the woman not. But what's clear is that Anthony's song and silence suggest a man navigating legal landmines with little hope for peace. She can have the money and they can keep all the fame, but I will never forgive what they did to my name. So many men, the worst part about the divorce is not the money, but it's just dealing with a vindictive woman for years. Some men take a really bad L and the money is the worst part, but a lot of times it's just dealing with a crazy woman for years. What's happening to Oliver Anthony is happening to fathers across America. Some famous, some forgotten. The family court system, powered by outdated formulas and incentivized conflict, often rewards whoever files first, cries foul loudest, or plays the part of the primary caregiver. In Anthony's case, Tiffany demands, reportedly reaching into his future earnings, are eerily similar to what millions of working class fathers have faced without a platform or a podcast host to speak on their behalf. This is not about whether Anthony was perfect in his marriage. It's about a system that incentivizes punishment over partnership and monetizes fatherhood through alimony calculators and custody agreements that treat love as a liability. And by the way, I'm speculating here. So this is speculation. What I'm about to say did not happen as far as I know. What is a possibility is maybe he was unfaithful. Like what if, because he's getting all this newfound fame. I don't think it's out the realm of possibilities for even a good man to maybe entertain that. Maybe she's pissed he cheated and just using lawfare to ruin his life. Or maybe she was just she wanted to divorce him for years and now she got the time. Regardless, even if he did do things wrong in the marriage, and it's unfortunate that this system gives women the right to do that. This song isn't just event, it's a cultural document. Like Johnny Cash before him, Anthony is singing what most men can't afford to say out loud. The family court system doesn't deliver justice, it delivers judgment. And sometimes the bigger the name, the deeper the cut.